What's up, everybody? It's Danny Gould with the Gould team, selling Silicon Valley, back with another video. You know, I wanted to make this one for all my young 20-year-olds, maybe even in your 30s, and you're a young entrepreneur, you're just getting started in the game, whatever game you've decided to play in, whatever arena, whatever field, you're tackling tech, real estate, finance, whatever, you know, whatever industry you're in. I feel like this video is super applicable to anybody that's starting in any field as a young entrepreneur. So just a little bit about myself for those of you who don't know me, who aren't subscribed to the channel. I am 26 years old and I sell real estate here in Silicon Valley. It's one of the most competitive real estate markets in the country. And in 3 years, I've managed to build my business from zero to over $20 million in sales last year, and in the top 2% here in the county, countywide for real estate agents, top 200 in the county last year, which is okay. I want it to be in the top 100, but obviously everyone wants more, right? Like that's the telltale sign of a young entrepreneur. So I've made countless mistakes, made so many mistakes, and I think the biggest mistake that I want to share with you today is going to help a lot of you overcome your initial hurdles. So while I've made many mistakes as a young entrepreneur, there is one big mistake, or I would say the biggest mistake that I've made, or that I made rather, as a young entrepreneur, and still sometimes make to this day. So every once in a while I have to kind of come back and just find myself and say, hey, watch out, because you're going down that rabbit hole again. So, you guys ready for it? Am I keeping you in suspense? The biggest mistake that I've made as a young entrepreneur is thinking that I knew it all. Letting my ego dictate my actions, right, and my thoughts. So, let me give you guys an example. When I got into real estate, I thought that I knew it all. I thought that I was going to absolutely crush it and that I didn't need any help because I'm Danny motherfucking Gould, like I can do it all, and I'm a Stanford grad, so people got to listen to me because I'm smart and that's it, right? Literally, that's what I thought. Okay, great, right? So I get into it. No sales within the first 4 months. Nothing, right? Zero. So I kind of had to reevaluate what was going on. Thankfully, I had a mentor come into my life, and at that point, I was so desperate for money. See, when I started real estate, I wanted to do it all on my own. I didn't want to join a team. I didn't want anybody meddling in my business. I wanted to build it all on my own. I wanted to build it from scratch. I wanted to do it. See, there's just one problem. Because when you get into something like this, you don't really understand the full impact it's going to have on your life. You don't understand what the thing is until you're playing in that field. And sometimes it's a lot harder than you think. And let me tell you, someone who's been playing in that field for 20 years or even 10 years or even 5 years or even 3 years knows a whole hell of a lot more than you do. Because until you put the pads on, and you go out there on game day, you don't really know what a real tackle feels like, you know. You're out there, you're practicing, you're doing the practice pads, you're a freshman, you're like, oh yeah, I got this, and then you got, for the first time ever, a 250-pound linebacker coming straight for your face. Then you know the pain, right? So you won't know until you get out into the field. And so I didn't know. You know, I didn't know what to expect. And so when I got into it, I realized how incredibly competitive this market is. Let me give you guys a little news flash. Right now in this county, there are 14,000 real estate agents and there are 600 total units for sale. So you do the math. The cream really rises to the top and everyone else gets completely demolished. I mean, just totally destroyed. So to even have 20 sales or 21 sales like I did was, you know, it's really hard to do. Matcha. This is green tea. If anyone wants like a brain boost, green tea matcha. It's the best. So, my biggest advice to you is don't let your ego get in the way of where you want to be. Find a mentor, find someone to learn from. You know, the best thing that I ever did was I started coaching. And I enrolled in a coaching program. It didn't work for me, but then I found another coach and she changed my life. Her name is Lorna Hines. And everything that she has taught me has completely transformed my business. She's helped improve all of my skills, right? My listing presentation, my selling skills, everything that revolves around sales. She has helped mold me into the salesperson that I've become. And I don't know if you've heard, but real estate is a sales job, first and foremost, which I didn't really expect when I got into it. See, I thought I could just rely on my good looks and, you know, resume to kind of power me through and get me to the top. It's not the case. At the end of the day, sales, a good salesperson, always makes it about the client, right? A lot of people get into real estate thinking it's going to be all about them. And it couldn't be further from the truth. No one cares about you, bro. Period, right? So they only care about themselves. So a good salesperson knows how to make everything about the client, period. And she taught me how to do that. You know, another guy in the office, Scotty G, he really taught me a lot about, you know, building a business, because he's really methodical about everything that he does, and, you know, farming everything that he's done to build his business and his brand in this little area, Silver Creek Valley Country Club, I've managed to do in other parts, but I just kind of like took everything from him. And to circle back to everything, see, I didn't get any sales my very first 4 months, but then I decided to join a team, you know, and for that whole year I learned from Lynn Tran, who was my first big mentor here in real estate. But had I not taken that leap of faith and not finally decided that I wasn't good enough to just do it on my own, that I needed some help, until I finally shed my ego, put it to the side and said, I'm gonna go get it, right? I'm gonna learn from somebody. And then through that learning process, I'm gonna become a better agent and be able to feed myself. You know, that was the best decision I've ever made in my life. So I think for anybody out there who's just starting a business, do not let your ego get in the way of who you want to be. Go out there, find somebody, latch onto them. You know, I know that if you guys watch Gary Vaynerchuk, I mean, he says work for somebody for free. I don't know if I necessarily agree with that, but go find somebody. You know, they may not be able to pay you very much, but the knowledge that you get from them is going to be worth so much more than the minimal pay cut that you're taking. You know, so don't be that guy. Don't be the guy that thinks they can do it all on their own, because, you know, no one's done it on their own. You know, I was listening to a podcast the other day, and, you know, even Warren Buffett, you know, the billionaire genius behind, you know, so many great financial investments in his, you know, through Berkshire Hathaway, even him, he had a mentor, you know. So even though the wisest financial guy of our era has, you know, needed a mentor, needed people to follow, needed systems, needed structure, needed a roadmap, you know, and you're not going to get there on your own. You're not going to get there on your own. So, and look, I think if you're watching this video, you're probably already one step ahead of where I was. See, because you really need to like soak in and learn, right? And YouTube is a great learning tool. So props to you. Kudos to you for watching this video, and I hope you got something from it. If you have any questions for me, please feel free to leave questions down below. I'm always available to chat and to answer any of your questions, and who knows, I might even answer it in video format. Go ahead and leave me a thumbs up if you liked the video. Once again, it's Danny Gould with the Gould team, selling Silicon Valley. Catch y'all in the next video. Peace.